Monday, June 17th, working to make our clover stands and our tree stands more productive this fall.
Growing Deer TV is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops, also by Riconics, Trophy Rock, Muddy Outdoors, Non-Typical Wildlife Solution, Eagle Seed, Nikon, Winchester, Redneck Hunting Blind, Dead Downwind, Record Rack, Antler Dirt, Lacrosse Footwear, Scent Master, Blood Sport Arrows, and Prime Bows by G5.
Most varieties of clover are perennial, meaning they grow year to year. Unfortunately, a lot of food plot farmers only get 1 to 2 years out of a clover stand. My best record for a clover stand is 11 years. The 2 secrets to keeping clover active and productive in a food plot for many years is making sure it's well fed, good soil fertility, and keeping the weeds from competing for the moisture and nutrients of that clover. Most common method of keeping weeds out of a clover stand seems to be mowing. Mowing and a lack of fertilizer is probably why most clover stands fail during the first or second year. Mowing certainly doesn't control most forms of grass. Think about the grass in your yard. You mow it, mow it, mow it. It keeps on growing. Some broadleaf weeds will be killed by clipping the top off with a mower, but certainly not all of them. In reality, the only way to control weeds, grasses, and broadleaves out of a food plot is by using
You may have noticed a lot of wheat growing in this food plot. Typically when you're planting a new stand of clover, like this field, you always plant some sort of cover crop. We use Eagle Seed Monster Wheat to help protect that clover at its young stage. We've decided we're not going to spray the wheat, we're going to let it mature and go to grain, providing forage to turkeys and other sorts of game. We typically plant Eagle Seed soybeans here at the proving grounds, and they provide forage 11 months out of the year. But we've got 1 month that we need to provide some source of food to the wildlife. That's where we use clover. The first important factor in clover maintenance is providing quality fertilizer. We use antler dirt here at the proving grounds, and as you can see, our clover's tall, lush, and providing tons of forage for wildlife. The second important factor that goes into a healthy clover stand is weed control. Today we're using a broadleaf and a grass-specific herbicide mixed with a non-ionic surfactant. We find this more effective than mowing. Typically when spraying a clover field, you'll spray twice a year, once in the spring and once in the fall. So we're going to get to it, spray these weeds in our food plot so we can have a great stand to hunt on this fall.
a simple backpack sprayer and some sweat equity can do wonders to maintaining your clover plot. But without these tools, you probably have to replant each year.
Today the boys and I are out on Boom Pond Powerline putting up a new non-typical hot zone fence. Over the last couple of falls, this tree has grown to become one of my favorites on the property. You saw me harvest a bobcat a couple years ago, and then this past fall I shot a nice doe out of it. As you can see behind me, the boys have the fence almost all the way up, driving the last few posts now. So we're going to make the fence hot, get out of here before the heavier rain gets in, and come back in a few weeks and show you the results.
The boys installed another non-typical hot zone electric fence at Boom Pond Powerline. It meets my criteria for a great stand location. I can hunt with any type of south or eastern wind. And another factor that's huge is I've had success out of that stand in the past. Back when we first started GrowingDeer.tv, I harvested a nice buck out of that location. Mature bucks are drawn to certain types of habitats, not necessarily specific areas. So when you remove one large buck from that area, another buck, maybe growing into that age or competing with that buck, will adopt that same area to take advantage of the thermals, the wind direction, and the security of that area. With all those factors in mind, it was a perfect opportunity to put up another electric fence and preserve that spot for a late season hotspot. If it's cold during the late season, deer have got to take more food in just to maintain body temperature. Oftentimes, all the food's already consumed out of smaller food plots or even in ag areas where the farmers have tilled the ground, and if you can preserve a little food, you basically own the deer in that part of the range. We've learned from experience that by protecting some forage with an electric fence, you can make a great hunting spot during the late season. That's exactly why we installed the non-typical hot zone electric fence to protect the beans right in front of the stand, allow them to reach maturity, and have that favored deer food of soybean pods right there within 40 yards or less of the muddy stands. One of the great things about Growing Deer and the web is we can bring you a new show every week, and it's semi-live, so you can follow this summer and see how those beans mature inside the fence versus outside the fence, and how we do this fall once we take down the fence or open the gap. We've got several more projects to complete before deer season opens, and I'll bet you do too at your hunting grounds. But take a moment while you're out there working and enjoy creation, and more importantly, listen to what the Creator is saying to you. Thanks for watching GrowingDeer.tv.
And weed control in small hidey-hole food plots just like this one. You may have noticed a lot of clover growth. Oh! Before the heavier rain gets in, and come back in a few weeks and show you the results. Hallelujah. Yeah.